Hey everybody, how are we doing? All right, well, today we're going to be trying some 4-color Delverless. And so the upside of this strategy is that we get to play both Orcish Bowmaster and Questing Druid. And then I'm excited about playing Court of Cunning as a way to beat 4 to 5 color Beans control type decks, which is what we lost to in the last league. And so, yeah, that teamer deck, I think, crushes everything, but has, like, no prayer against a Beans control deck. But what we get in this version is Orcish Bowmaster. And so there's this problem with a teamer deck where you have to keep Orcish Bowmaster, well, where you have to keep Lightning Bolt in to answer the opponent's Orcish Bowmaster. But in this 4-color version, we get to just play Orcish Bowmaster ourselves to keep opponents' Orcish Bowmasters in check. And so we can just board out our Lightning Bolts. And then this card, Court of Cunning, is the bomb diggity because, you know, it gives you the Monarch. And even if your opponent removes it, you're still getting to keep the Monarch. And then this Orcish Bowmaster is an effective card at keeping the Monarchy because it puts 1/1s into play that can chump block. So I think the Orcish Bowmaster and the Court of Cunning really go well together, and we could potentially beat those 4 to 5 color control decks here. Now a build like this, I mean, I don't know, I guess Bowmaster is another card, but I'm a little bit more worried about like Death and Taxes or maybe Red-White Initiative. But we still have Lightning Bolt. I guess we're just missing really Unholy Heat. Maybe Orcish Bowmaster is a good card against the initiative. I mean, it obviously picks things off against Death and Taxes. And the mana base is worse here. But, well, I'll be happy to give this a shot here. And, I mean, I think the Beans are a big part of the metagame, so I do like the idea of having the best cards for that matchup, which are definitely going to be Court of Cunning and Orcish Bowmaster. So here we go. All right, we're on the draw against Sniff and Whisper. I don't know what they're whispering about after sniffing, but our hand is a keepable one with a nice mix of lands and spells and cantrips and interaction here. All right, we're going to feel the grief from our opponent, and they're going to settle on the Questing Druid. They're playing a basic island, so that'll indicate that we're up against blue-black scam. So we'll try this Bauble. A Brainstorm is on top. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this here Ponder and look for black source to set up this Orcish Bowmaster. So we'll get to find out how this mana base works. And instantly, it's a slap in the face. So I think I just have to shuffle here. I mean, the Tropical Island is not very exciting, where Lightning Bolt might be okay, but another Bowmaster is pretty bad, so we will shuffle and pass the turn. Alright, we draw a card off the Bauble. It's a Bowmaster. Now we just need that black source. So my opponent has this Brainstorm here, and we're about to get Wastelanded. Do I want to Daze to try to save my land? I guess I don't, and I'm just going to hope to rip the land. Yeah, I mean, if I Daze here, I mean, the Volcanic Island on its own isn't really doing all that much anyway. Well, now the Volcanic Island would have been doing something. So they want to reanimate their grief, so I might as well Force of Will. And do I want to pitch Seal of Removal or Daze? I'm probably wastelanding their land. Which makes me think that Daze will be better. Okay. We found the black source. So do I just want to jam the Bowmaster now? I guess that I do. I mean, I could have waited until their upkeep. I don't really see that letting them untap helps. And then if they go into their main phase, they're going to draw more resources to potentially answer this Bowmaster. All right. Moving into our opponent's main phase. All right, so they're playing a Scalding Tarn and passing. We draw another Daze. Well, I'll get in there for 2. And I guess I'm not under any huge pressure to play this Bowmaster. All right, they're just going to play lands and pass. Ponder. Well, if my opponent has Bowmaster, they did a good job of being disciplined about it, because I could have picked off my own Orcish Bowmaster some time ago. It looks like they don't have it, and we draw 3 lightning bolts. Not that exciting. So I will see what my opponent's going to draw here. Ponder. So I don't know if they're going to go for the Mystic Sanctuary. An opposition agent. Okay. I guess I cannot stop the oppo agent. Dang, what I should have done is daze the opposition agent and then replayed my Orcish Bowmaster in the second main. And then I could have picked off the oppo agent. Well, Force of Will is not a bad one here. Here's a Ponder. All right, it's another Ponder. And they're going to Wasteland my Underground Sea. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we are just bricking on lands. Well, the 4-color mana base is instantly a punish. But we do have Carpet of Flowers to make this kind of situation right post-board. All right, they play another land. I'll take 3. I'm gonna pop the chat back out here. Hang on. Okay. All right, it's a Cracking of the Delta, and he'll Shieldred the Apocalypse. I'm gonna force resolves. All right, and we have a Scalding Tarn that's bad against their oppo agent, since it does prevent us from searching our library. Or if we do crack it, they just get to find the thing that we search for, that being the upside of opposition agent. Brainstorm from the opponent. They're playing a Ponder, and they're going to play a Fatal Push on my token. Well, that is fine with me. All right, we're down to 8. Another fetch land. Okay. I am going to Wasteland them here. This takes them off the Mystic Sanctuary. So they need 3 other islands in play for that to trigger. Okay, see, they got the Mystic Sanctuary, and it didn't trigger. So I don't know what that's about. Alright, they've got a Murktide Regent, so that's probably good enough to kill us here. There's really no card we can draw that will answer that, so that is fine. Alright, that was agonizing. But I think our chances do improve after sideboarding, especially with Carpet of Flowers. And so we can board out Force of Will. I brought Hydroblast over, but that is not one that we want here. And then I just need 2 more cuts. I'm thinking just the Baubles. Seal of Removal is another card that can get Dragon's Rage Delirium. I think that's fine. We'll try this. Alright. Alright, I'm just going to lead with the old Volcanic Island into Ponder. Yeah, we can keep these cards. Alright, we're getting griefed. Our hand's all quite redundant, so that's fine. Okay, so they're going to settle for a Questing Druid. And pass it on back here. Oh, maybe they're going to reanimate this grief first. Yup. Alright, they're going to take the Murktide Regent. That's all well and good. I guess I'll brainstorm around Orcish Bowmaster here. And then what do I want to put back? I mean, I could Questing Druid. I think we want to wait on Questing Druid. Alright, I guess I'm going to pass the turn here. I mean, I could Lightning Bolt this grief. I care about Orcish Bowmaster more. I just get to play some lands and seek the beast. Seems okay. They want to swamp cycle this troll. Get another underground sea. Pass the turn on back. Okay. So yeah, I want to play a Brainstorm here, I think. We'll get out the Dragon's Rage. And then I think I'm looking at setting up Questing Druid next turn. So they're going to play Basic Island. Attack with Grief. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and fetch here. I meant to do that on their end step, but I clicked through it. So we were exposed to opposition agent there. I'm going to attack for 3. I mean, this Polluted Delta really is a pretty good draw, because it's going to make this Questing Druid better, or Seeking the Beast in particular. And I guess I'll do this on their upkeep here. Seal of Removal. I guess against a lot of things they might have, that's not terrible. Okay, and a surgical extraction. So they're going for the Mystic Sanctuary, targeting this Reanimate. So do I want to surgically extract that? I guess I don't mind it. We'll get to see what's in their hand, and I get this free Surveil. Wow, and they Force of Willed my surgical extraction. Talk about value. Volcanic Island. Can put into the graveyard. I mean, if they reanimate the Troll of Khazad-dûm, I get to just seal removal it on my turn, so I'm not concerned about that. So my opponent's down to 1 card over there. Maybe they've spotted the issue. I mean, this is kind of the problem with Grief strats. They're going to reanimate Murktide Regent. Well, that's probably even worse than reanimating their Troll, because they take a bunch of damage, and I just get to remove it back, and well, they're just going to be dead. It matters not what they do. Well, seal removal wins the game with this lightning bolt in hand. I guess I'll play the Questing Druid. Play the seal removal. Put Wasteland in my graveyard. Juice the Druid. Bounce my Murktide Regent. Get in for 3. And I'll deal the last 3 damage to my opponent, or the last 2 damage in particular. I wonder if Gradigger's Cage is just better than Surgical Extraction. I mean, it just completely stops the whole graveyard problem. I'm not really worried about them reanimating Grief anyway. I mean, if they play Grief turn 1 and see my Surgical Extraction and their plan is to reanimate it, they're probably going to take the Surgical. And so I feel like there's a small window for that card to be effective. Whereas Gradigger's Cage just handles the whole problem. Well, we are once again feeling the pain of this 4-color deck. So this might not be a winning strat. My opponent's on double Leyline of the Void. I mean, that's fine. I'm not able to play this Dragon's Rage Channeler anyway. I mean, I guess it slows down my Murktide Regent. And I don't have Force of Will in my deck. Okay. Well, let's get this Dragon's Rage Channeler out and start getting value. They want to Swamp Cycle the Troll. That's fine. Alright, it's an Underground Sea and pass from the opponent. Mishra's Bauble. I'll take it. Brainstorm. I think I like Brainstorm. I mean, it seems that they do not have a Bowmaster, or they would have played it. See what the opponent's drawing here. Reanimate. So we have to worry about this Troll of Khazad-dûm. So that's no joke. But it is going to do a bunch of damage to them. Okay, well now I get to do this Bowmaster. So if they don't have some kind of answer here, reanimating the troll is going to deal them like a lot of damage. Looks like we're getting to do the Bowmaster thing. All right, so I put my Bowmaster triggers on the stack. We have a big old orc army. We could, in fact, just block this Troll of Khazad-dûm if they choose to attack, now that we have 3 creatures in play. All right, well, here is the reanimated trolls. They're down to 6. So I want to play Brainstorm here. Put back some cards that aren't good. Lightning Bolt seems okay. Ooh, there's a Seal of Removal. Okay, so I think I'll put back Questing Druid and Murky Rege. Then we get to play the Trop, play the Seal, get this Murktide out of the picture. Now they have some kind of response to the Seal of Removal. What could it be? Okay. And yeah, let's just bounce this Troll of Khazad-dûm out of the way. We're gonna Swamp Cycle the Troll, that makes sense. Then we get in for 6. And so do I just want to Lightning Bolt them right now? There are some 4-drops I want to Daze, like Shieldred. And if I am tapped out, it's more likely that they're able to Daze through their Shieldred. Like use their own Daze to get it to resolve. Okay, and they're just ready to concede anyway. Well, the mana so far I hate, but I do like having access to Bowmaster. But again, we're just giving up percentage points in basically every matchup to get more percentage points against the control matchup. So as long as we're able to scrape by in the other matchups, I mean, it's mission accomplished. Which is just what we did there. Okay, we are on to play against Yawgmoth. And I would call this a keepable hand. So it's a Kahira strat. These are usually lands. Because they just don't play any creatures in their deck besides maybe Endurance. We do have a fine hand against lands here. What with having Force of Will to counter like an Exploration, and Seal of Removal to counter a Merit Lodge. I guess I'm going to play this Bauble and target my opponent to see if we can confirm what they're on. Misty Rainforest. Well, that doesn't tell us too much. Then I'm going to crack this for a red source. And that sets up Seek the Beast. Potentially a whole bunch of lands. Well, I kind of do want some lands. So we'll be drawing 2 lands. I mean, that's probably okay with Seek the Beast. Because we need lands to make the Seek the Beast thing work. Oh, I'm foolish. We're drawing 3 lands. That's worse. But on the other hand, I really don't want to miss on this turn to land drop. So, okay, a Ponder. Well, that's not what I was expecting. I think that does bode well, though. I mean, Orcish Bowmaster is a lot better against islands than it is against, you know, the lands deck. Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, so it's some kind of wacky combo deck. So if it was looking like I don't know, like tempo or control, I'd probably just be seeking the beast in my end step while they were tapped out there. But where this is a crazy combo deck of sorts, I'll just hold up the Seek the Beast, and so they don't know that we have Force of Will, if that is what we can find off Seek the Beast. Like another Force of Will off Seek the Beast. Basically, we want to keep whatever comes off Seek the Beast a secret in this kind of situation. Thoughtseize, yeah, so they're going to take Force of Will here. And we're going to be praying for a miracle off of the Seek the Beast of our own. They take Force of Will. A Wishclaw Talisman. Storm counter is not here. They played 1, 2, 3 spells this turn. So I don't think I need to counter the Wishclaw Talisman. I need to counter whatever they get with a Wishclaw Talisman. So what can they get with 5 mana here? Maybe it's Paradise Lost. Otherwise, I think maybe Echo of Eons. They cannot do Beseech the Mirror because they need to sacrifice an artifact or enchantment for it to work its magic. And the storm count is too low to tendrils me out. I think Empty the Warrens seems like the best one I can think of here. Okay. An ad nauseum. So all we have to do off this questing druid is find one of our 7 copies of Daze and Force of Will. So fingers crossed here. I guess I'll get Tropical Island and keep the black part of my deck a secret for as long as possible. Okay, so there's 48 cards left in our deck. So there's a 14.5% chance approximately of hitting one of our 7 outs. We have 2 chances to do it. And we got there on the Daze. So that's pretty lucky. Although not inconceivable. We're exchanging some pleasantries in the chat here. All right, well, we exchanged some pleasantries in the chat. And I'm just a little unsure how I want to sideboard here. I mean, I think that Meltdown is probably... Well, they're playing the Wishclaw Talisman. But I was thinking about bringing in the Carpet. The Court of Cunning can win the game, although it does fill up their graveyard, but drawing the cards is certainly good. I mean, Murktide's probably not needed on top of the Bowmaster, Questing Druid, and Dragon's Rage. Okay. Well, this hand has basically no interaction. It has Dragon's Rage on turn 1 in Brainstorm. And potentially Meltdown. I think this hand is just a little clunky, and I feel okay mulliganing. I mean, I'm not sure that this hand is really any worse. I'll put back a Dragon's Rage. At least we have Daze as some kind of interaction. In this Meltdown is something we can potentially do. Alright, the opponent's on the ult. Suspend Gaia's Will. Now I'm just trying to figure out if Gradigger's Cage would stop this card. Yeah, Gradigger's Cage says you can't play spells from graveyards, so I definitely should have brought in the cage. So just wastelanding them here sets them back on the Gaze Will, but I don't want them to play Carpet of Flowers. Okay. The old basic swamp pass. Okay. So let's get in here with DRC. Play Mishra's Bauble. Put Flooded Strand in the graveyard. See what my opponent's doing. Beseech. Well, that can answer a Null Rod. The Bowmaster is a potentially okay draw. We're about to Daze. Oh, we're not about to Daze. The Wishclaw Talisman. Well, it's in. Yeah, I can't really beat the Gaia's Will here, sadly. I can play Meltdown on my next turn, and then they at least have to play the Wishclaw again from the graveyard. Yeah, they're using the Wishclaw. Veil of Summer. Well, I'm just not going to be able to stop it. Yeah, here's an Infernal Tutor. So I could have Orcish Bowmastered in response to the Veil of Summer and dealt my opponent a damage, but then they get to draw a card and get a free Storm. And so, yeah, my opponent's mulliganing, or they're debating in their head, they're mulling over what to Infernal Tutor here for. I guess if they pass the turn, I get to Wishclaw for Null Rod. And that seems pretty good. But if I play Orcish Bowmaster now, I don't have a target, and I have to like target my Dragon's Rage Channeler, or I guess my Orc Army token. I'm not even sure if it's in play to be targeted. Yeah, I think the way Orcish Bowmaster works, you deal the 1 damage and then amass. So I think I'd have to ping the Dragon's Rage or the Orcish Bowmaster itself. But I think my opponent is in a pickle here because I think that the Wishclaw for the Rod is going to be pretty good here. Okay, so they elect to sacrifice the Lion's Eye Diamond. So they got 4 mana. And they're just going to Tendrils. All right, well, we're going to be able to beat this, I believe. I don't think this matches up very well against... Okay, well, Force of Will is like the perfect draw. All right. Well, get excited, opponent. I don't think I need another land. And then, I guess I just force the Gaze Will here. I mean, otherwise I can't really force the Infernal Tutor because they can protect it with the Veil of Summer. All right. All right, and they concede there with us forcing the K as well. All right, round 3 against Monkeys Can't Cry. I think this dude plays Doomsday. They do in fact have a whole bunch of results for Doomsday, and this is probably some kind of combo. I wonder if that's blue-black scam. All right, so Tainted Pact, Beseech the Mirror, and a whole bunch of Doomsday. Well, it would be better to have a red source against Doomsday, but this hand is otherwise pretty good against combo. All right, they're going right in with Lotus Petal. So they're about to play something around Daze here, I would say. And it's a Thoughtseize. So do I want to Daze this and get their Lotus Petal out of the way and let them take... I'm often a fan of just getting Lotus Petal off the table. So I'm going to take that. Oh, wow. And they just let me counter it. So what do I want to do here? Do I want to Wasteland or Ponder? I guess I'll put them to the test. If they don't have another mana, then obviously the Wasteland is quite good. All right, they do have a land. All right, well, let's Ponder. And so we want a red source or an Orcish Bowmaster. And what we find is Force of Will and Brainstorm. Well, those are good cards. Yeah, I think we just have to keep these. My system is lagging something fierce here. I gotta reboot. But I will not shuffle. So they are just passing through their turn. The good news is we can probably get Murktide down at some point here. All right, they're going in with Dark Ritual. And here's the Doomsday. So I am going to force this, and I think I do have to pitch the Murktide. Maybe if I pitch the Brainstorm here, I can actually play the Murktide next turn. All right. I think I'll try that. See, that used up their Lotus Petal. I think I just have to try to get the clock down. Like, that's what you want against Doomsday, is something in play dealing damage. So if they don't have Daze here, it looks like they have the Daze. All right, well, at least they can't go off for a bit, but it's a bummer in this position with no blue card to pitch to force. But at least we're drawing a new card next turn. They want to reanimate my Murktide Regent. Well, that is fine. That just does a bunch of damage to them. Okay, and now we can get this Dragon's Rage down. I mean, I guess it's kind of a problem, this Murktide. But if we get these Dragon's Rages going, we'll be okay. So they chose not to shuffle their library. What I'd really like here is a Brainstorm. An Orcish Bowmaster. I think that is not terrible. That'll make it hard for them to Doomsday very effectively. They're still clocking with that Murktide, so we're about to do some damage here. I guess if they play Doomsday while that Murktide Regent's in play, I think this thing grows to epic proportions. Yeah, because that'd be a lot of instants or sorceries being removed from the graveyard. All right, well, we can at least hard cast Force of Will here. An Arclight Pheonix. I see, so that's what's going on. Alright, well, if I force this... Yeah, I'm definitely going to force here and take my Surveils. Don't need a tropical island. Don't need another Dragon's Rage so much. Alright, so Force of Will is in. So if I can get Delirium here, we can win. Mishra's Bauble. I think that's going to give me Delirium. Okay. I need to reboot real quick here. Alright, so I'm interested in these cards out of the sideboard. I don't hate Court of Cunning either. So normally I board out Murktide Regent in these combo matchups. The thing is that it blocks the Pheonix. But maybe we can just hope that we can prevent the Pheonix game plan from happening. But Court of Cunning sure owns Doomsday. I don't think Lightning Bolt's really where I want to be. It's going to be best to beat the Phoenixes on the stack. Oh, I don't need seal removal either. So maybe I'm trying to get too cool with the Court of Cunning. And I should just keep in the Murktide Regent that can block Pheonix. I think I'm just going to try the Court of Cunnings. Alright, well this hand doesn't have any counter spells, but I mean, it does have DRC and the free Surveil value on turn 1. And the clock is good against the Doomsday portion of their deck. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just get the Dragon's Rage out. They're going to Brainstorm in response. Alright, Dragon's Rage is in. Man, Brainstorm is a good one, but is it the one I want right here? Yeah, probably. Brainstorm is probably good enough. Shieldred on top of my opponent's deck. Okay, that's scary. So they're playing Ponder, and that makes me think they're not going to get Shieldred down this turn at least. And they're passing it back. There's a Court of Cunning. Okay. All right, I'd like to get the other Dragon's Rage into play, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I do want this Force of Will. Okay. All right, I guess I'm just going to draw the Force. I guess I probably should have put the land on top because I feel like we're going to force or Pyroblast something here. Yeah, I'm going to take this Pyroblast. I'm going to keep the Ponder on top. They're going to Daze. Okay. Well, you can have this Daze on my Ponder. Or my Pyroblast, and you can have your Ponder. All right, they're gonna Brainstorm. Okay, so they're gonna grief me here. And they're exiling the Shieldred. I guess I cannot stop it. And so they can do whatever they want here. Just probably take Force of Will, but maybe they're more concerned about this Court of Cunning by some miracle. But I'm glad that grief is at least out of the picture. But maybe Court of the Cunning straight up bricks the plan, bricks their plans regarding Doomsday. They take Force of Will, so I guess they're not concerned about the court. Got Dark Ritual. There's a Doomsday. So maybe they can just win this turn then. Yep. Okay, well, Doomsday has resolved and they're passing the turn. So I gotta think they have an answer for this Court of Cunning. Oh, this doesn't mill until my upkeep. So maybe, yeah, I'm just gonna be playing Ponder here. And if I could somehow set up a Bowmaster, that would be the best. But I probably should have Brainstorm if I wanted that to happen. Alright, whatever. Surgical Extraction. Another Dragon's Rage. Well, Daze kind of does something here. I think, alright. I'm gonna get in for 3. So they'll have to kill me this turn, but I'm sure they've got a plan for that. But we could potentially try to mess something up with a surgical extraction. Consider. Yeah. Okay, well, we have the surgical extraction for that now, don't we? So I guess I'm gonna start with the Daze. And we'll keep the surgical on top to Brainstorm into. There's the Force. And so now we're free to Brainstorm into this surgical extraction. Okay, and that's the match. All right, round 4 on the draw. I mean, this is a keepable hand. The opponent has mulligan to 6, though. All right, the opponent's on a swamp strat, and we're getting the old Thoughtseize. Our hand's pretty redundant here, though, so I'm not too super worried about it. See if they want to take like the Daze, or maybe Seal of Removal, or Brainstorm. All right, after much deliberation, my opponent has settled on Ponder. All right. I'm gonna play out this Volcanic Island, and we'll be holding up a Brainstorm and Daze. It's not clear if Seal of Removal does anything, and if that would be worth jamming. So we're happy to keep that in hand. Wasteland. So we're probably looking at like a blue-black scam deck, I would say. I think I will go ahead and fire off this Brainstorm. I like the looks of these lands. Questing Druid. We're probably not wastelanding this game, sadly. Okay, so do I want to jam the Seal of Removal? I guess I don't need to do that, and I'm going to play the Ponder here. These are good cards, though. Another land is just, you know, not terrible against the Wastelands that my opponent is playing. I'm just going to Bauble now. Maybe there was some merit in waiting until after the DRC was in play. I guess I want to know what my opponent's on, and we're just going to go ahead and crack here. Playing around Bowmaster this way. Oppo Agent. So, yeah, that's either like mono black with Wasteland. I guess we're about to find out. It does seem like mono black based on that second swamp that they got there with the Troll of Khazad-dûm. All right, well, Seal of Cleansing is probably going to be good in this matchup. Seal of Removal. Yep. Yeah, you can take 6. That is fine with me. I'll play out this Volcanic. Play the Dragon's Rage. Play Seal of Removal. What do we got on top? Tropical Island. I think I don't need yet another land here. And then I'm certainly not going to Seal of Removal until at least their turn. But Seal of Removal, like, absolutely devastating here. I mean, unless they're somehow, you know, baiting me into using my Seal of Removal too early or something. But basically it did 6 points of damage, my Seal of Removal, thanks to their Reanimate. Alright, the opponent's getting in with Dathi Voidwalker. I'm gonna get in with my attack for 3. Okay, now do I want to bolt this thing pre-combat? Or I mean pre-cracking the Misty? I think I can afford to have my Misty Rainforest go to exile because of the Voidwalker there. I'll get my Tropical Island. Then I'm gonna seek the Beast on my end step here. Another land, probably not what I need against their opposition agent that we know about. Okay, a bunch more lands. Well, I'm glad I milled the other land. They're gonna swamp cycle their troll, that's fine. And so yeah, I don't know what they want to do here, like play a 4-drop. They're pretty close to dead though. Another Dathi Voidwalker, okay. I guess I should have brainstormed before fetching there. And get out, yeah, the Questing Druid here. And I'm going to attack. And then I guess I'm just gonna not take any further action. And make them kind of commit their Dathi Voidwalkers to attacking. Because they need to tap to sacrifice to exile something with a void counter on it. Which is, you know, a bunch of fetch lands. And so if we can wait until they have to attack, you know, they can't somehow lightning bolt my Dragon's Rage Channeler on me. Yeah, here comes the attack. Okay, so now we can pretty much lightning bolt with impunity. We just got to try to win this turn. Well, a third Dathi Voidwalker is not going to win them the game. I guess I'm gonna lightning bolt my opponent. An Orcish Bowmaster. Oh, I guess they don't have opposition agent? Well, I'm gonna force the Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in the Gradigger's Cage, and I think I'm gonna not bring in the Surgical Extractions for the reasons that I discussed earlier. Basically, it not being that great against Grief. I don't hate Daze in this matchup because they're always trying to play 4-drops. If they're not reanimating that Grief on turn 1, they've got like Shieldred. And, well, Troll of Khazad-dûm costs 5, and Grief costs 4 to hardcast. I mean, I wish I had maybe a few more removal spells to bring in, but the Seal of Removal is devastating. Yeah, I think I'll just run this back. I mean, maybe Murktide Regent is bad if they have like Leyline of the Void. Well, at least we have our Force of Wills in to pitch Murktide Regent too if that happens. The opponent's on a mulligan to 6. I'm gonna have to keep a hand like this with a good mixture of lands and spells. No Leyline of the Void from my opponent to start with. They're gonna Thoughtseize me. I don't know what they want to take here. I mean, I guess Dragon's Rage, but possibly Brainstorm. They settle on Lightning Bolt. Probably means that Dragons, it probably means that Bowmaster from our opponent is incoming. And that makes me kind of want to just Brainstorm first thing here. I don't want to just play Dragon's Rage and get it Bowmastered. I think I'm gonna try this. Well, we have a counterspell now. Probably don't need all these lands. All right. Dothy Voidwalker is what they're gonna start with. So I could force this. I guess I'm just gonna let it resolve here. Okay, so this at least lets me get a little surveil value off of my Dragon's Rage. And I guess I'm not gonna get the Tropical Island yet. I don't want to get Wastelanded off of red. Okay, there'll be one Tropical Island in my deck. Okay, okay. I like these cards. I guess I want to hide the Lightning Bolt. Okay. So we're probably gonna end up bolting this Voidwalker. I guess we'll see what they do here. If they pick off my Voidwalker, I mean my Dragon's Rage, it's not the worst thing. Maybe I do want to force a Bowmaster here. No, because I have Bowmaster answer their Bowmaster, so I'll just live with it if that happens. But yeah, so I'm gonna Lightning Bolt their Voidwalker. And I'm just getting that Bowmaster vibe. And I'll just use my Bowmaster to answer their Bowmaster. But once that Voidwalker's off the table, we can start thinking about getting this Murktide Regent into play again. Looks like they're going to attack for 3 here. There's the reanimate on the troll. Yep. So seal removal is just going to be an absolute beating again here. So let's pick off the Voidwalker. I think that one Bowmaster is fine for me. And so I'm going to put that second Bowmaster in the graveyard. I'm going to play the seal removal. I'll accept putting a land in the graveyard. I will bounce the Troll of Khazad-dûm. I'll get my attack for 1 in. We're going to swamp cycle that troll. And it looks like they're just going to pass the turn here, which certainly works for me. Another Dragon's Rage, okay. Well, I'm going to attack with Dragon's Rage. There's an Oppo agent. Yeah, I don't think I want to Force of Will this. I do get to pick it off with Bowmaster. Okay. The damage went away for a second there. And I was worried that damage went away at end of combat instead of end of turn. The damage, like the number 1 on the card from the DRC damage, so I was concerned. But okay. Anyway, we've got Force of Will. We have 5 power in play. So now they want to play an Orcish Bowmaster. Yeah, that's fine. They can take out my Orcish Bowmaster. If I draw like a cantrip, I'm happy to have that to pitch to Force of Will and just get this Murktide beating. Alright, they're coming in with a Reanimate on their Voidwalker. And I think we're just going to let this resolve. Although, you know, I'm realizing that maybe I shouldn't have. Because they have all... They can Lightning Bolt my Dragon's Rage, basically, is the issue. Well, I'm gonna, I guess, go ahead and play the Murktide. There's not too many things that they can have here that beat this. But if they want to pop their Voidwalker to try to kill my Dragon's Rage, I mean, that's cool. Like, if they dismember this Murktide, I think that's like the one thing that they could have. Alright, so my opponent thought about it for a bit there. And they're cracking this Voidwalker. So they're about to play something from the Void. It's a Brainstorm. And they did not find the answer they were looking for there. And conceded. Okay. Alright, we have ourselves a trophy match. And we are on the play against Geodude Jared. And I'm definitely going to keep a Dragon's Rage and a Bauble Surveil Value kind of hand here. Alright, let's do it to it. Let's get that Volcanic Island. Play Dragon's Rage. Play the Bauble. We can put another Bauble in the graveyard. I mean, that would be a lot of Surveil Value next turn. Cavern of Souls, huh? Okay. We have Ponder. And another Ponder coming. Alright, I'm happy I put the Bauble in the graveyard. Usually I just put Baubles in the graveyard because it's just a redraw. And you're costing yourself tempo. A Goblin, oh boy. A Goblin Lackey. Okay. Bowmaster, Daze. I'm gonna play out the Dragon's Rage here. I mean, I could be trying to like play around removal. Oh, Wasteland. Yeah, I want to Wasteland that cavern. I also want to find Orcish Bowmaster though. There's kind of some tension there. I think I have to keep the Wasteland. Wow, we found both the Bowmaster and the Wasteland. That is pretty nuts. We don't actually have the Delirium anyway, so I'm gonna have 2 blockers for this lackey. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna be Wastelanding plus Bowmaster next turn. I guess, I mean, there's some chance that I end up dazing something here. And that could give me the Delirium. But with this cavern out, it's not very likely. Gem Palm Incinerator. Okay. I can't daze the cycling. That picks off the DRC. Thankfully, my other DRC. Do they mean to attack here? Am I missing something? They concede. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they meant to attack there. Well, I don't think it was going to go great for them anyway. Once I Bowmastered and Wastelanded them. Okay, so I guess this is what the Goblins look like these days. And so I guess Meltdown is going to have text against Chrome Mox and Chalice of the Void, so we'll probably want that. And then, okay, well this list doesn't even play Goblin Lackey. And the guy we're playing obviously does play the Goblin Lackey. Which is good news. It's another target for our Bowmaster. Well, I'm just going to bring in the Meltdown and not risk it. That it won't have any targets. So seal removal, I don't think that this is really a seal removal matchup. Returning like the Goblin Ringleader or Muxus to their hand is not super tempting. But yeah, they don't really see Force of Negation targets other than like Chrome Mox, and I'm not really excited about that. So I'll probably just cut a Bauble here as the last card. And hope for the best. Well, we have a turn 1 blocker for their lackey. We get the Bauble value, and then we have the Orcish Bowmaster and Ponder and stuff coming down the pipeline. So, you know, I have to keep. Okay, so no turn 1 lackey. I definitely like that. Do I want another Orcish Bowmaster? I have an Orcish Bowmaster. I mean, how many... They didn't play... If they played something that I could have... That I immediately wanted to Bowmaster, I'd be more excited about having 2. If there was a Goblin Lackey in play or something. Speak of the devil. Okay, well, Force of Will is a great draw. If they play out that Lackey, I will Bowmaster it. Okay, they're going to crack that Mesa. And get a basic mountain and a Rishadan port. And they're going to take out the old twin shot sniper. They're using the channel to take out my DRC. I think I'm going to have to be okay with that. Wasteland. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Wasteland the Rishadan port here. And play Ponder. Another Wasteland is really good. I mean, you kind of want to save Wasteland for Cavernous Souls, but you kind of got to keep them off of mana too. And we found a second Wasteland, so that's just crazily good. But I want to steer them towards playing a Lackey so I can Bowmaster it. And that is what's happening. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. All right, they're going to crack their Bloodstained Mire and get a Badlands, and there's the Cavernous Souls. It's an uncounterable Goblin Crater Maker. Well, that is all the uncounterable things they could have played there. Not the scariest. Definitely going to take them off this cavern. Going to play this Bauble. See what they're working with. An Ether Vial, okay. No attacks with my 1/1s into their 2/2s. So we're going to let them play their Ether Vial and then seek the Beast in response and decide if we're going to force it. If we find Meltdown, we don't have to force it. Well, I'd say we have to force it. Okay, so that happens. Okay, so I'm gonna get in there with a Questing Druid. Bolt the Crater. Well, I guess if I bolt the Crater Maker, they just get to kill my Questing Druid. So I could bolt their head instead. Yeah, because if I kill the Crater Maker, they're just gonna destroy Questing Druid, and that's like a waste. They're probably gonna want that Questing Druid dead anyway, and so I'm just gonna bolt their head here. Oh, okay, well, I meant to change the targets and I did not. So that was poor. But I guess I'm attacking for 2 this way. So I guess at least the Crater Maker's off the table and I only lose 1 point of damage. Maybe that was the right play all along. We don't want them to get like a critical mass of action over there. Of course, we'd also... Okay, well, we're not going to be able to stop whatever's about to happen here thanks to this cavern. So what do we got? A Siege Gang Lieutenant, okay. Well, I could seek the Beast on my turn and try to move this thing on forwards. I guess my counter spells aren't really good anyway. Because they have the cavern. So I found Brainstorm and Orcish Bowmaster. Maybe I should have just waited. So I could Bowmaster and take out the Siege Gang. The Sling Gang, I mean. Siege Gang is a different card. Or I could just Brainstorm. I think I have to Brainstorm, given that I have dead cards in my hand. Okay, well, these are some cards. And I don't think Force of Will or Daze is very good here, though. Daze is probably better than Force. All right. Well, I wish I just questing Druided on their turn. It would have been a lot better. So, yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know what I was doing there. That was silly. A silly thing to do in the trophy matchup. You gotta wait on the questing Druids. Guess I'll just go ahead and attack here. Okay, so they've got this Battlecry Goblin. We're gonna get to Lightning Bolt in response to this, so that is something at least. Yeah, they'll sack it to the Sling Gang. And they're getting in for 6. Okay. All right, I guess I'm not playing this game too very well. I'm just trying to get some action going. Oh, we at least finally have the questing Druid in play and are playing a Brainstorm. Bunch of... Well, these are all some cards. Okay. All right, I think I'm okay attacking. I have like at least one blocker, and we're probably gonna end up bolting the Sling Gang at some point. So they play a land, and they have no attacks. Okay. Well, I think I have to bolt the Sling Gang on their end step. All right, so that happens. They got a couple 1/1s in play. Okay, we hit the Wasteland. Their last card in hand probably is the 6-drop Muxus, which is what we don't want to see. I guess I'll just attack with Questing Druid and the Orc army here. All right, they've got an Ether Vial. That's probably too slow at this point to do anything meaningful. Daze. So if I attack with everything and they don't block, 5. Yeah, that is, they are going to be dead because I can Lightning Bolt and then Daze it. And these will, it'll be a 5/5. No, that's only 8 damage, right? 1, 2. This is 5. No, because he gets 2 more counters. So it becomes a 5/5. Then he would take 3. That's 8 and then 9, 10. Yeah, so all right. We're attacking with everything here. Seeing what they want to do. Okay, they're going to take a chump block. Makes sense. Down to 8. You're going to attack for 1. That's cool with me. A Sting Scourger. Are they going to bounce my Questing Druid and give me the Seek the Beast? No, they're going to take my Orc army. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Ponder, here we go. That's some action. Meltdown. Yeah, that's not a terrible one either. I think I just have to take the Meltdown, even though I'm not that excited about the Bauble that comes after it. And then I can attack with both, and they have to block the Questing Druid or they're dead, and they probably realize that. It looks like my opponent is taking their chance with no blocks here. I'm going to let the damage happen. And just make sure, I don't know, they don't flash something in. Okay. Alright, well there's a trophy, huh? Okay, well. So these were the matchups. Blue-black scam, Beseech combo, Doomsday Pheonix, mono-black scam, and Goblins. So we didn't really get to play Court of Cunning against any control decks. Orcish Bowmaster is like off the chain. The combination of Questing Druid and Orcish Bowmaster was pretty good. Man, I completely forgot that I was only playing 3 Wastelands when I Wastelanded that Cavern of Souls, or the Rishadan port against Goblins. Maybe I should have just been saving it for Cavern of Souls. Well, the last round was a little bit sketchy. But man, Orcish Bowmaster is like a stupid good card. Man, I think if I were to play this again, I don't know. This is a lot less fun than Teamer. Oh, here's a change I made. I cut a Volcanic Island for a Badlands at some point. And that means I need to switch my fetches around. Because we have to play Tarns and Deltas. So we didn't really play any tempo mirrors where the Carpet of Flowers really would have excelled. Man, Questing Druid was crazily good. Like, Questing Druid plus Orcish Bowmasters was doing work in that Goblins match, especially if I, would have played better. And Questing Druided on my end step, like I knew I should have. But it's just so good that the way, Orcish Bowmaster answers the Orcish Bowmaster problem. It's just incredible. Talked about it ad nauseum, so I guess I don't need to keep going in on it, but man. Man, Seal of Removal. As long as you're playing against scam decks, and I guess people love these scam decks, Seal of Removal is insane. To be fair, I think it wouldn't have been too hard to 5-0 this league with Teamer Delver, just because we didn't play against the 5-color control. But, 4 or 5-color beans, that kind of control deck. But playing the 4th color did not cost us any percentage points. Well, it didn't cost us any matches. So you could probably tighten up the sideboard. Like maybe instead of 2 Carpets of Flowers, that could be like 1 Life from the Loam. Alright, well this is what I cooked up. So we've got the Badlands. I cut a Seal of Removal for an Unholy Heat. The scam matchups seem pretty darn winnable anyway. But yeah, this Badlands I think would probably go a long way towards making the mana base better. And oh yeah, the 1 Life from the Loam in the sideboard. Maybe something like that. It's a bummer because I really want to play Teamer, but these Orcish Bowmasters are just stupid good. So I guess it's a bit of a conundrum, huh? Alright, well, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's a trophy vid, so you got to if you made it this far. Okay, alright, thanks. Alright, bye.